All right, guys, hello and welcome. It is actually Saturday, May the 11th, and I'm doing just a little bit of an addendum video here because I want to point out something kind of interesting that I saw in the market that we might be able to take advantage of at some point on Monday before the Monday evening video comes out. Now, what I'm noticing here is that on May the 8th, we talked about this one, Cognizant Technologies. And if you'll remember from a few days ago, we looked at its 5-day chart. And down here on Wednesday, it announced better than expected earnings. It had this nice pop and then just started to move along to form the bull pennant that we're usually looking for. And it gave us a couple of days of that. Then on Friday, inexplicably, this thing just absolutely takes a bath and it runs all the way down here, just slightly below the point at which we want to get out of it anyway. If we had decided to trade this already, which I have not entered into this, I'm just watching it. But I'm very curious about this huge drop. And so that led me to drill down a little bit tighter and look at this day chart. Now, this is the day for the close last Friday. Not an incredibly remarkable chart, kind of trailed off through the day. We saw that big drop hour after hour after hour. A little bit of a bounce here, and then it remained relatively flat. That's not the telling thing. It actually ended up a little bit. It turned its bow to the north just a little bit. Here's what's interesting about it. What's interesting about it is this volume bar right down here. Now, you can see that we've been humming along all day long on a very little bits of volume. Little bits of volume all the way through, causing this to drop off, as there are obviously far more sellers than buyers, and the price of this instrument just continues to rattle down and down and down and down and down. And then right here in the very last minute of the day, and I mean the last closing minute of the day, we have nearly 900,000 shares of stock traded in the single last minute. And what does the stock do? It starts to climb. So everybody who was thinking of getting out here in the last minute pushed the button to get out, and some buyer or buyers came in and literally swept up every last share. Every opportunity was taken up. Now, to put in perspective for you, the preceding minute here, if we look very closely, was 26,000 shares of stock traded. The minute before that, 44,000 shares. The minute before that, 43,000 shares. So I think you see what's going on here. The final minute of the day, 900,000 shares. This stinks to high heaven of stop loss hunting. This looks like a big institution is intentionally, methodically driving this stock lower. And once they found their bottom, once they felt like they had pushed it down as far as they could possibly get it, they decided to start acquiring this stuff again. Okay? This is one we really want to take a very close look at. We want to keep this one right on the top of the list, because in the world of stop loss hunting, you see essentially what happens is that the big institution wants to acquire this stock. But in order to pick up hundreds of thousands of shares of stock, your order doesn't get filled immediately. You have to be able to buy the stock as it is becoming more and more and more valuable, or conversely to sell it as it's becoming less and less and less valuable. And that's just part of the game that they're in. That's part of the game of moving a lot of money around. It becomes very, very challenging. But to see this trail off through the course of the entire day, and in the closing minute of the day, you have this 891,000 shares traded, and the stock climbs. That makes me think that, let's go back to a 3-day chart here that'll illustrate my point a little bit better. That makes me think that this is being intentionally driven down by someone who wants to buy the stock. So take a look at this one first thing Monday morning when the market opens. Watch to see what it does. If this thing starts climbing, you're going to want to get on this train. Anyway, just wanted to give you a special Saturday heads up. Follow your trading rules. Have a great balance of the weekend. And I will be out with another video Monday evening looking at the pre-announcements. Thanks, guys.